going into this album, Jason and I were like adamant about no beat detective, no auto-tune, like everything's got to be real. Like we're gonna do everything
unreal.
Yeah, exactly the opposite of like what Watashi Wa had done.
Welcome to Church Jams Now, the podcast where three former youth group kids and current music nerds deep dive into Christian music from the 90s and 2000s. I, of course, am your co-host, Kylan Savage. With me, as always, is Mr. TJ Smith.
Hey, man, I thought I was going to be stuck out in the courtyard for this whole episode, but you pulled all of me back in, so thank you for that.
Oh, I love it. It's... the man with the face playing the game, the broken man with the face playing the game, not asking for a free ride, is, of course, our beautiful Everlord, Josh Olson.
Yeah, thanks for that wonderful introduction, Kylan. I may be a broken man with a face, but I have something to say tonight.
Yeah, you do.
This is good.
Thanks. This is always it. It might be the highlight of the show, guys. Is the pun part the highlight of the show?
I like that we don't tell our guests it's going to happen beforehand either.
That's
so
true.
It's kind of always a surprise.
You're right. I think that gives it an extra zing.
Yeah, that's true.
Anytime we have a guest on.
Gentlemen, we are joined tonight by Seth Roberts from the band Watashi Wa. Yeah. Seth, thank you so much for coming on tonight. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having me. I'm stoked to be here.
Dude, we are stoked to have you.
I'm a big fan of puns too, so
good.
You've come
starting it off.
You're in good company.
Starting it off right.
Yep.
Yeah. So, before we get into the album we're going to talk about, one of my favorite things to do when we have guests on is I want to hear your origin story. I want to hear about, so our show is about specifically Christian and Christian adjacent music from the 90s and 2000s. So I want to know for you, what kind of music did you grow up listening to? I definitely want to know the first album, CD, cassette, whatever that you bought with your own money. I'm always very curious about that. And then nice. how you got involved in the quote unquote Christian music of the 90s and 2000s.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I grew up with kind of like music in the family. So my grandma had like a public TV show that she taught children how to play music, like simple rhythm sticks or like simple like bells or and so
that's so cool.
Yeah, pretty cool.
We have not gotten that yet on the show.
That's true.
That's new.
That's a first.
And so she taught me music really young, and then my dad also was in a bluegrass band when I was growing up. So
what did he play?
He played guitar and he sang like acoustic guitar.
Sweet.
Finger style, like
I bet
picking.
you can go to town.
Yeah. So we'd always like go to bluegrass festivals and have music around the house all the time. And then my parents kind of, you know, they became Christians in the Jesus movement, and so like they got rid of all their kind of secular music, and pretty much we just listened to like bluegrass music.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, Christian music like Keith Green and stuff like that growing up. And so I wasn't really allowed to listen to, you know, when I became like a teenager and stuff, I wasn't really allowed to listen to a lot of the music that my friends were listening to. Like I was skating a lot at the time, and kids were listening to like Smashing Pumpkins and Green Day and stuff like that. And I love that stuff.
You're like, but guys, what about like Flat and Scruggs? Like, can we not? we can skate to Foggy Mountain Breakdown. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, and I had heard like other, music here and there. Like our pastor's son gave me like a Guns N' Roses tape, Appetite for Destruction.
That's such a PK move.
Yeah. And I hid it in my tree fort, and I would just like sit up in my tree fort, like listen to it and be like, oh my gosh, this is so crazy. And then like
Incredible.
I think one of my first you asked me like what are my first music that I bought myself was like early on. I think I bought like DC Talk and at like our church.
Was
like
that New Thing or
New
Free
Thing,
at
Free at
Last?
Last.
Yeah.
It was New Thing, yeah.
Nice.
Yep. And then I grew up going to kind of like a summer camp called Hume Lake that was like through my church, and they had like a store there that sold CDs and stuff, and that was like my first time buying actually like buying CDs, not cassettes. And that was when I discovered MXPX and like Starflyer 59. Those were like my first purchases at Hume Lake. And me and my friend Josh, we just bought like from then on, like every Tooth and Nail release that came out. And so that's when I got really into, I guess, this scene. And I learned to play guitar because at the time I just played piano, and so I really wanted to play electric guitar. And I got like a cheap, I forget what it was, like an Ibanez or something, and a little like Marshall 9-volt amp that like clipped on your pants or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And we used to camp a lot during the summers. Like for summer break, my parents would just take us camping across the country or whatever. And so I was just like sitting every day, like learning every single song on Pokin' At Ya, like on my electric, on my little Marshall amp. And like,
sick.
I remember like walking around the campgrounds, like playing,
people are like, what's that? It sounds like bees.
Songs.
Why is it? Just the tone.
Get the bug spray, dude.
On like the worst possible like amp ever. But so that's kind of like, I guess, my origin story into the scene. I started with Watashi Wa like pretty soon after I learned to play guitar. We played in like 7th grade,
oh wow.
So we were like playing. Our guitar player's brother was in a band called Noggin Toboggan, and they were kind of like a
great name.
Yeah, a pop punk band. And so they kind of put us under their wing and like would put us on their shows. And so, in junior high, we were like playing with Value Pack and Dogwood.
Oh my God,
that's crazy.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, pretty surreal, like playing these. And the scene was just so crazy back then. You could like announce a show, the beginning of the week, and on a Friday night there'd be like 400 kids there. It was just like a lot different back then. So we were playing like little festivals and shows in junior high. And then that's when we signed with Betty Rocket, who Noggin Toboggan was on. So we put out our first album with them.
When you were in middle school?
Yeah, I think we were in high school when we put out our first one with them.
Shut up. Wow.
Yeah.
Still, that's so insane. That's like, insane.
I love that.
Yeah.
So then to move the timeline forward, what was the transition for y'all as a band going from Betty Rocket to Tooth and Nail? Because that was like a couple years after that, right?
Yeah, only within like 3 years, I think, from your first record on Betty Rocket to Love of Life in 03.
Totally, yeah. Yeah, we put out 2 albums on Betty Rocket pretty pretty close to each other. I think they're like a year apart or a year and a half apart. And then we had, I mean, Tooth and Nail just kind of reached out to us. We had a mutual friend that was working at the label at the time, Josh Jeter, that had some of our like newer demo tapes for some of the songs off Love of Life, and he played them for Brandon, and Brandon just called me. And
How did you feel about that?
Also, how old are you at this point? Are you like 19 or something, or
no, I
you
was
20 by this
17 or 18, I think.
when you're getting a call from Brandon?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Crazy.
Yeah. I think I was 18 because we right after we recorded, before we even signed with Tooth and Nail, he basically was like, hey, because we were talking with Militia Group too at the time, and we had just played Tom Fest up in Washington, and like met the Tooth and Nail guys in person and everything. And Brandon kind of kept calling, and a thing came up for Garth, the producer that did Love of Life, had like open time. And so Brandon was like, hey, he's got open time. He's gonna give us a really good deal. We just got to like strike while the opportunity's here. I know we haven't signed you guys, but we'll work it out. Like, just get up into the studio. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So like handshake deal kind of thing. Like,
well, yeah,
verbal,
we just kind
verbal
of
contract.
Yeah. And then they came up while we were recording. We signed probably like halfway through making the album. But yeah.
They made sure like some of the, bones, like the nuts and bolts were there. They're like, okay, cool. These guys got it.
Yeah.
We can
Maybe.
sign them now.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Very
So that was
okay.
Yeah, we were like 18 at the time, because I remember, we didn't drink at all. But up there in Canada, it was like legal for us to drink. So we like had beer, I think, for the first time.
In Vancouver.
Yeah. Yeah, we got corrupted.
Living large.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I love that. Already, okay, this is great. I'm having the best time.
Good. Me too.
So I want to get into, because right, Josh, we're specifically talking about Eager Seas, correct?
That's correct.
So I do want to mosey on over to Josh's research corner to talk about the record a little bit. And once again, listeners of the show, this is my favorite part of the show, when we have people that actually made the record on. So, Seth, if Josh gets anything wrong, please feel free to cut him off, berate him,
publicly humiliate
let him know how wrong he is. But as of now, he's gonna give everyone just sort of some general context about the record.
Awesome.
Gonna do my best. Well, thanks for coming on over to my research corner. It's not as cool as a tree fort with Appetite for Destruction on cassette, but it's the next best thing probably.
It is. I do often say Josh's research corner is second best.
Second only to a tree fort with Appetite for Destruction on cassette.
And then my wife just rolls her eyes whenever I say that.
And before I start research, I do want to give a shout out to Jimmy Lopez for helping.
Oh, shout out Jimmy!
Shout out Jimmy for helping
the homie
this happen. Yeah, for roping Seth into this. But like Kylan says, he likes to get on to me in case I get anything wrong. But I am prepared. I have the CD, so I'm coming directly from the liner notes on this one here.
Nice
source material, baby. So of course we're talking with Seth from Watashi Wa, who is a band from San Luis Obispo, California. You can correct me on this, because I didn't know if, and we'll get into this a little bit on members, if members is just you, or if it also includes Jason Massey, because it has Jason Massey and Lane Bierman on listed right under you for credits.
Yeah.
And then it has additional credits in there. So, but Seth, you're credited with vocals, guitars, bass, mandolin, harmonica, piano, and keyboard. So doing a lot on this one.
Crazy.
The record we're talking about is Eager Seas. It was released January 24th of 2006. We're talking about for his 20th anniversary. We're a little bit past it, but
nice.
happy anniversary.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It is. It's a big one. This is the 4th Watashi Wa record, but we can talk about some of the semantics involving that in a little bit as well. I want to hear about that. Yeah. It was released on Tooth and Nail Records. It was produced by Zach Hodges, friend of the show, who I did reach out to, and I have a couple notes from him that I will be sharing.
Nice.
Seth Roberts and Jason Massey as well. It has 12 songs at 45 minutes and 16 seconds. And then sometimes we talk about the artwork, and since you're here, I am curious also just what inspired kind of the look and what, like the aesthetics for the record that, I don't know who did it, but it was Invisible Creature, so I don't know if it was a Ryan or Don or someone else there, but what was kind of like, what were your thoughts on that going into getting the artwork and the visuals for it?
Yeah, the artwork is always one of my favorite parts. Ryan did that one, Ryan Clark, and we went into like kind of the ideas for it. I was really into Mark Ryden at the time. He's like an illustrator that does like these kind of, they almost look like happy, like vintage, happy, like weird paintings, but then they're also a little creepy and like dark. And I just love, I mean, he's great, but I just love when there's juxtaposition in art. And this album had a lot of themes that were just a lot more like sad and somber than the love of life, especially. And so I wanted the artwork to kind of feel like a little haunting and like a little like this, like have a juxtaposition to it. And so at first I suggested like, hey, can we do some illustrations like Mark Ryden, you know?
Nice.
And he's like, there's no way like the budget will allow us to do like custom illustrations, which totally makes sense. But he had found at like an antique store all these old photos you know, a couple weeks before, and he just loved how they looked like, you know, these pictures where you could imagine life in a home, you know, like these moments of memories or nostalgia or like living a life that's like full enough to even find times of like sadness or feelings of being lost or so that was kind of like the idea with the artwork was like having something that felt like, you know, you could look at it and see something that's like a happy memory or like a nostalgic place, or you could look at it and be like, that's kind of creepy. That photo's kind of creepy, you know? And so, yeah, kind of just, that was the goal with the aesthetic.
Okay, cool. I love that. I love hearing the background on it. Very cool.
Awesome.
That about wraps up my research, but I do have some, like I said, I have some notes from Zach Hodges that I will share.
We'll get into that.
What's Zach got to say?
We'll get into it in part B, guys.
Okay.
We're going to finish up part A.
Okay. Perfect. Thanks,
okay, so I have one more thing to finish our part A before we take a break and get into the album proper. Seth, another thing I love to ask people is going into recording the album, what was your headspace? Like what were you feeling? So this is the fourth record and we'll get into more details on the specifics, but like what were you feeling going into the studio to record this album?
That's a good question because it was such a different time in my life and in my musical journey. It was a pretty like everything kind of was upside down, but in a lot of ways that were exciting and a lot of ways that were just like, what is going on right now? Like, and because Watashi Wa had like officially had broken up, and then I had been playing with MXPX like second guitar live for them and doing some stuff like with their artwork. And so I was like, at the time, a lot of the songs that are on this album, I wrote like at Mike's house when I was like playing with MXPX. And like Sydney Tonight, I wrote kind of like on, on the way to going to Australia. And like that was my first tour with MXPX. And like,
were you still using the clip-on amp in Mike's house?
no, pretty much though.
That's a good one.
But yeah, so when this album kind of came about, I had all these different songs. I felt like different projects almost too. Like I had one project with some of the guys from that used to be in Watashi Wa, and we had one name, and then some of the songs that we were going to do on Watashi Wa is like what would have been Watashi Wa's next album, were ended up on, like The Game was a song that Watashi Wa would play live towards the end. And so it was kind of like a mix. And I wasn't sure even if my music made sense to be on Tooth and Nail anymore. Like our A&R guy, when we had finished Watashi Wa, or kind of when we broke up, he had said things to me like, if it doesn't have heavy distorted guitars, then I don't know what to do with it. And so when I had been writing all these songs kind of from a place where I wasn't really, it was freeing in a lot of ways for me musically, because I was thinking about things from a different place. I wasn't thinking like, oh, I'm going to take this into the band and it's going to be like two guitars and bass and drums. I was just thinking like, I just want to write songs, and I didn't really have officially like a music project. I was just kind of writing a ton of different types of songs and thinking about, what made albums sound great, what like more about production and things like that, instrumentation. And so, Brandon and I talked about this album. I was still in contract with Tooth and Nail, and I told him like, hey, I don't think this album is going to fit on Tooth and Nail. And he was like, no, we love your music. We love your songs. Like, come up to Seattle, record at Tooth and Nail Studios. And so I sent him we had a bunch of demos at the time. Yeah, if I can find them, I'll send you guys some demos, because a lot of them sound pretty close. But he, of course, Brandon was always a big supporter, and so he was pumped on the demos we sent, and so we were like, okay, let's go for it. So Jason and I kind of were like, let's basically go up to Washington and record just him and I. And then Lane was kind of like, I want to be in on it too, And so because Lane had played drums with me in Watashi Wa, and this is a great musical partner. And so that's kind of how we went into it. We were thinking a lot. We weren't really thinking like even that we were going to be a band playing these songs live, really.
Yeah.
We just thought we have all these songs and we have ideas. Jason and I really connected in just our love for like production, music production and recording and that process. And so a big part of this album was like us just like exploring production ideas that we were like,
Nice.
what,
Cool.
you know, like,
Yeah.
and we kind of, it was much different than the Watashi Wa process of recording and writing. It was completely different. And the production was completely different than The Love of Life. Like The Love of Life was the process of that was we were punching in on each chord, tuning for each chord, beat detectiving all the drums, everything was perfect and like tuned, all the vocals were tuned, and so going into this album, Jason and I were like adamant about no beat detective, no auto tune, like everything's got to be real, like we're gonna do
Raw,
everything
unreal.
yeah, exactly the opposite of like what Watashi Wa had done. So that's kind of how we went into it. It was a lot of fun going into it because we had a lot of ideas and we weren't really sure what.
And it seemed like you had no like expectations of what it's going to be, which is, I mean, honestly,
kind of the
that's
best.
That's one of the best places to be.
Ideal.
Yeah, and honestly, like we thought a lot of these songs were like throwaway songs. Like now listening to the album, I just listened to it again before this, and I'm like, that's crazy that we thought these were like, because a lot of the songs that I thought were like just whatever are great. I really like them now, but we had like the Photographs EP kind of in our back pocket too, and that's what ended up coming out on the Militia Group. So a lot of some of those songs we were like, those songs like Photographs is better than all these songs,
Save that for later.
Yeah, we're gonna save those. But it was fun. It was fun to go into an album and just like not have rules, not really have
just be able to like play around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Explore.
Just really explore the studio space,
explore the space. Yeah.
That's
sweet. Okay. We are gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna dive even deeper with our guest Seth Roberts about.
You're gonna dive deeper into those eager seas.
We are eager.
I'm eager to dive into those seas.
We are eagerly going to dive deeper into the seas of eager seas. All right. Yeah, that's fine. I'll fix it in post.
So like that.
Here's a break.
Do you have a love of vinyl? Do you also have a love of life? Do you have The Love of Life by Watashi Wa on vinyl? If you answered yes to all of those questions except for the last one, I'd love to tell you about our sponsor for today, which is, of course, CollideRecords.com. And I would like to highlight that they have The Love of Life on vinyl by Watashi Wa on a beautiful red color to match the artwork. And they also have their 2022 record, People Like People, on CD as well. If you're a Watashi Wa fan looking to fill out some of your catalog of physical media in your collection, go to CollideRecords.com where you can find those two records and plenty more of your favorite vinyl and CDs from so many artists. Go to CollideRecords.com and use our promo code ChurchJamsNow to get 20% off your first order. Once again, that's promo code ChurchJamsNow on CollideRecords.com to get 20% off your first order. And let me tell you, all of me thinks that's a great deal.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed those ads as much as we enjoyed making them. Of course, we are still joined by Seth Roberts and I guess TJ Smith and Josh Olson. We're talking about Eager Seas. Before we do that, though, Seth, can I, or I guess I should ask Josh and TJ, can I derail us just like so briefly for like just a second? Like it wouldn't be a Church James Now if I didn't derail us a little bit, right?
We'll see how brief it is, but sure, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay. Seth, I want to talk to you about my introduction to Watashi Wa. I want to talk to you about your Message in a Bottle cover
Oh, nice.
for
Yeah.
the Policia, the tribute to the Police album.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did you guys get involved with that? And it is also kind of insane to me that was my introduction to the
Yeah,
band.
that is crazy. Yeah.
But I loved that record. Like that. I mean, because Under Oath was on
Copeland,
that.
Under Oath,
Copeland.
yeah. Mhm.
Like there were like a bunch of bands I loved.
Yeah.
And that finally, like, for me being like a stupid high school kid, I was like, oh, I guess I should check out the Police. But you
By
guys
way
got
of.
like you got one of the best Police songs on that
Yeah, no kidding.
Police compilation record. So like,
I agree.
how did you guys
Yeah.
get involved with that?
We were, I mean, we were such big Police fans, and Militia Group, we were good friends with them, and they knew we were big Police fans, and they had planned to do this compilation, so they just asked us if we wanted to be on it pretty early on. So we were
Had y'all been doing any Police covers live or anything like that? Or like, was it
No.
public knowledge? Like, was there any sort of connection there?
No, not really. I mean, they just knew that we just loved the Police. And
Nice.
like,
Awesome.
yeah,
That's so cool.
we listened to the Police like all the time. Our drummer Lane, that's like probably his biggest influence is their drummer Stuart Copeland. And so
I can hear that. Yeah.
so we got lucky enough to be in early on like the, you know, put your name in on a song, and that's basically your song. We actually
Sweet.
called dibs on Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic, but
Nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
someone else had already called dibs on that, but they didn't end up even doing the compilation.
Oh,
But we were, it was Sunny Day Real Estate, so we were like, oh, that would have been insane for them to do that
oh
song.
yeah.
Right.
Wow.
I still wish that would have happened. But
Yeah, I guess if you're gonna get one upped by somebody, like that's
At least it's
Yeah,
something.
pretty good.
Yeah.
At least it's Sunny Day Real Estate. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
still,
but-
message in a bottle, like that's
we love
Great.
it. Yeah. And we liked, there was like a live album that we listened to all the time from them. And the version that we did, we kind of like did the live album version where he does like the little like, hey, whatever thing.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
uh-huh.
But yeah, it was the kind of thing too, when we went into it, we were like, well, we can't really, it would feel weird to change anything about the song because we just love them so much. So we were like, let's just try to do it exactly the same as the Police.
yeah. Well,
Yep.
I mean, sometimes
Yep.
you just have
That's a
to
send up. Yeah.
No, that's the move a lot of times. Is just like match the energy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
do it your way, but match the energy.
Yeah. I mean, it's my voice, but it's pretty much exact to like all the drums and the guitars and everything.
Everything else. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
That's
but,
so good though.
Yeah, we loved it. It was cool.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I've heard that a lot of people heard of us through that
Yeah.
compilation.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
It was such a, like, I forgot about that compilation album until a couple years ago. And I was like, oh man. Well, some of the covers, like some of them are great. I think y'all's is great. Some of them are
Thank you.
rough.
Some of them
looking-
are rough. Yeah.
Looking at you, Under Oath. It's fine. We don't have to dwell on it anymore. Okay. So, Josh, that
Good
wasn't
derailment. Yes,
Okay,
that was a good
thank
one,
you.
Kylan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
solid.
didn't know where that was
Solid.
going to go, but I'm glad you
I know.
went there.
You never do.
Pleasantly surprised.
Okay, Seth, we have to talk about, I guess it's kind of the elephant in the room.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
This is technically a Watashi Wa album,
Yes.
but it's also
By name, at least.
Yeah.
It was not intended to be, and also we have found out through this show, this is not the first time this has happened with Tooth and Nail.
Oh, really?
Because they also did the same thing with Number One Gun.
Yeah, did it to Jeff for, I think he wanted to
Oh,
start the
right.
North Pole Project to be the new artist name, and then they're like, actually, keep Number One Gun, name that the record. Or something.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about how that kind of all went down, like
Yeah.
how that happened.
And also, if you don't mind, like including the full circle moment of getting to 2022 and releasing an album by the name that
Right.
was gonna be the name. Like, just
Yeah.
walk us through it all. We're
Totally.
here for it.
Yeah. So, like I was kind of saying before, I had these like collections of different songs, different music. Jason and I just kind of working on stuff all the time, and we had talked about starting a band called Eager Seas. So then when we had kind of like these songs, saved up like photographs and you know a, a a a lot of songs that ended up being on projects you know later on, like The Agreement even. um and so we kind of, once we recorded this album with Tooth and Nail, we thought, let's just make this Eager Seas, like let's just play these songs live, because we didn't really, a lot of them we didn't plan on them being part of like the new band or whatever. We just thought this will be like a different project. And then when we were up there,
So you had finished the tracking, and at that point you were like, "This is an Eager Seas record."
yeah, we kind of
Am I
like,
following that?
yeah, when we were recording, even when we were recording up in Washington, like we still hadn't really landed on like a name, or we thought even when we did the photo shoot, we just did it like me and Jason and the guys from Invisible Creature, like dressed up in a bear and a monkey costume.
Nice.
And so we didn't really, when we were making the album, we were kind of like, well, I don't know, how's this gonna go? Like, we were a little bit like, how's this album gonna go with Tooth and Nail? And
Yeah,
like,
wait
is it
and
gonna
see.
go well?
Right.
Yeah. And
But you were still under contract at that time to do one more record, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Officially under the name Watashi Wa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We had in contract, I think, 2, maybe even 3 more albums to do under the name Watashi Wa.
Oh, okay.
Under that name. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And so,
But you were just feeling like they didn't fit. The songs didn't fit. Like they were sort of feeling like they belonged under a different bracket or like
Yeah,
umbrella
somewhere
of
else.
and
Yeah.
Watashi
musical
Wa,
project.
in my mind, I was like, Watashi Wa was broken up. Like,
Right.
back then, I kind of really believed like bands stayed the same members for like the whole time as their band, like the Police or
Well,
like
and that's
U2.
really
Yeah, yeah.
honorable. Like, so I get the instinct to be like,
Yeah.
to honor that part of it of like, these were the members.
Yeah,
That's what this band is.
and it's cool when
That's-
that works.
that's pretty cool.
But
Classy.
but I also now in retrospect, I have a different opinion because I feel like,
Yeah.
Anyways, so going into this album, we just thought, oh, let's just make an album, for fun, and then we'll call it. We had a different. We thought we were going to call it Portion Amount Control as like the project name. And so when I talked to Brandon about putting it out under Tooth and Nail, he was fine about like honoring the deal. It didn't have to come out as Watashi Wa, new project. And he had at that time kind of thought like, oh, you'll still be touring with MXPX. It won't really be like, it'll kind of be like a side thing, And then when we made the album, we really loved how it turned out. And so Jason and I were like, let's start playing these songs live as part of like Eager Seas. Let's just put it out as an Eager Seas album. We got asked to do a tour with Acceptance and Copeland and Love Drug. and
Wow.
so we did. Yeah, it was
Great
rad.
tour.
It was a fun tour, and so we did that tour as like the band as Eager Seas, and a lot of the guys that did the tour didn't even play on the album. Like it was like, okay, now we kind of threw the band together for that
Did you
tour.
guys have merch on that tour?
Yeah, we had Eager Seas shirts.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
All
cool.
right.
yeah, and so when the first ad came out in alternative press, I think, that had the album cover, the artwork, and it said Eager Seas, and the album was called People Like People. And
Wow.
so that
So there was an
ad,
official like publication out there
Yeah.
saying this
yeah,
is what the
ad
record
came
is.
out,
This is the name of the band.
yeah, and we ran
Crazy.
and we did a tour where that ad was out, posters were out, we were promoting it at our show, like new album coming out. I forget when that was now, but yeah, so we did a whole tour promoting like Eager Seas, Eager Seas, Eager Seas.
Wow.
When we kind of got to the point of marketing the album, putting out the album, the release plan and everything, the Brandon loved the album, but the other guys, as we kind of like anticipated, didn't really love the album, didn't really understand it. Like our A&R guy said that, it just, he didn't really understand like how to market it or who to market it to, or he didn't really understand what genre it fit into. And
Which is so weird because I mean, it like if you just came off a tour with Love Drug and Copeland,
All those bands.
Copeland and Acceptance.
Yeah.
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 With
Acceptance,
this,
it's like,
Makes
wow.
so much sense.
what do you mean? Like this?
more do you
is-
need?
Yeah.
it makes more sense now in retrospect, because like all those new albums were coming out from those like from us
Right. Yeah.
all,
yeah.
and like
Mhm.
it kind of changed the genre a little bit, I think.
That was like the start of a new wave almost of like
a little bit,
like
yeah.
a subgenre
Yeah,
or
yeah.
an era of music.
I think so, yeah.
Well,
So
that's
now
cool to be a part of that, to be a part of that movement. Like, that's pretty exciting.
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
No one really like maybe got it at the time, but in
Yeah.
retrospect, I think it's cool.
Yeah, that's always
Yeah,
how it goes.
But hey, Seth, welcome to Church Jams Now. This is what we do.
Yep, this is what we do.
Yeah. No,
I
it
love
is
it.
cool.
It is cool. We get
Yeah,
it.
so that's kind of the story, that like we got to this hard place with the label where we were just bummed. We were like, man, we thought we were like pumped on making this album. I kind of, now, so the offer that they gave us was like, hey, we'll let you out of your deal if we can put the album out as a Watashi Wa album and call it Eager Seas. Since you guys did the Eager Seas tour, we did the promotion of like the Eager Seas ads and AP and everything.
Yeah.
Let's use that as the album title.
So confusing though for anybody paying attention, right? For anybody that's like that went to that show and was like, the band is called Eager
The band
Seas.
is called Eager
I know.
Seas, but
Wait.
now it's
What?
Now it's
No,
yeah.
the
record.
record
Yeah.
is called.
Now
That's so
now
funny.
I've like beyond confused people over the years.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
how do you feel about it? Like, I don't know. Where is it? How is it sitting for you in this moment? Like, as you're talking about the kind of just
Yeah, like do you?
Kinda-
like you don't think of it as a Watashi Wa record, I would assume.
Now I kind of do. Yeah. Now
Okay.
it's interesting. Yeah.
Oh,
but
okay.
now
Interesting.
now I almost, it's weird. Now I kind of look at Watashi Wa and Eager Seas as like the same thing in my mind, but
Yeah.
like different.
I get that.
I don't know. Like,
Different parts of the
Do
same
you,
whole.
do you combine
Yeah.
Lakes in there too, or is Lakes its own kind of thing? Like
I erased Lakes from my mind as far as
I was gonna say that's like a deep cut question from Josh
Yeah.
over here.
okay.
No,
I'm
it's
curious.
a good
Yeah.
question, because we just did like these re-releases of like the Photographs EP on vinyl, and I love that album, and I love that it came out as Lakes and stuff, but now that was so that was a pain because all these other bands came out called Lakes. Like there was a band called Lakes like on tour with Pedro the Lion, I think on the last Pedro the Lion tour, you know. And so it's almost like we didn't have an ownable enough name. We should have like trademarked.
Yeah, from a
it.
branding perspective,
Right,
it's
yeah,
like pretty
right.
tricky.
Yeah.
It's like Kleenex or like Escalator, right?
Yeah.
Like it's
well, and that's why I went back to Watashi Wa, because I just feel like, you know, that has the most brand awareness, you know,
and
like
it's singular. It's very distinct.
Yeah. And so we can put out, I mean, the Eager Seas album came out under the name Watashi Wa. People thought of it as a Watashi Wa album. That kind of almost redefined what Watashi Wa is in my mind, because
that's interesting. Like by virtue of the label saying this is the way you're going to release it, it sort of transformed what that project could be or sound like or feel like for listeners.
And just what what the audience is kind of like capable of seeing, you know. I almost thought like Watashi Wa had to be limited to this certain sound, and now I kind of see it as like it can kind of do anything.
It can kind of be whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's crazy.
That's really cool.
And Seth, at what point was it, like you said it was pretty late in the game, and which is I recently threw the CD into my car, and like it will like read the metadata, and so it's not like coming from a Wi-Fi. And on the CD, the artist is Eager Seas, and the albums is People Like People on it.
No way.
It is, yes. So I was like, this had to have been pretty late in the game for that change to happen. Yes.
If you're able to send me a screenshot of that.
I have a picture. Yeah, I'll see if I can.
That's rad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I guess like, at what point were those decisions made? Like, it does seem pretty late.
It was,
Y'all had because you'd done the AP article.
It was set to come out, and then they postponed it from like the original release, and while we kind of sorted everything out. And then, you know, they had also done this video for All of Me that never really came out during the Love of Life cycle, and then Watashi Wa broke up, and so they never put out that music video, and they spent.
But you can watch it on Spotify now.
Yeah.
I know that because I did it.
That was part of the deal with putting out this album too, was like, hey, if we can call it Watashi Wa, and then we also want to put All of Me on it. And we were like, wait, what?
That's crazy.
All of Me again?
All right.
Well, and then because it's the same recording.
Yeah.
Like, was there any talks of like y'all being like, well, could we like at least do it in the Eager Seas fashion, or
we
like,
did,
no,
but it was all so fast and like late in the game. Like, okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna add we'll add All of Me, and that way we can release the music video. And so it was like, okay, Jesus, take the wheel, you know, like.
That's great.
But it ended up being cool. I mean, I'm proud of that release, and I love the artwork. And we switched to Lakes after that pretty quickly, because from like the band perspective, because we thought, okay, now we want to have a new band, but we don't want people to be confused. So calling it is so funny, because now we're just like, we've done everything. But so at the time we were like pretty much right after the release of that album, we started touring under the name Lakes, and kind of planning out what became the Photographs EP.
Yeah, because it was only like, it was later, that it was 8 months, I think, after this record dropped. So I mean, it was quick to go from that
quick turnaround.
Militia Group and then Lakes.
Yeah. I think we even probably had a lot of it recorded, and we were.
So, how did the jump to Militia Group happen?
That was kind of like part of the conversation of us with putting out this album, was
Under
like,
Watashi Wa
yeah,
and calling it Eager Seas.
yeah. Like part of part of their deal releasing us was that Militia Group wanted us. So
Okay.
that,
So did they approach Tooth and Nail? Was that, and then
I think so. Yeah.
that
I
was
think
like
I think they
brought up to
called
you?
them. Yeah. They were always chatting, those guys.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was something like pretty immediate. It was like, okay, we'll put out this album that under the name Watashi Wa. We'll call the album Eager Seas, and then we'll sign with Militia Group as Lakes.
That's it.
I know.
That feels like a nice clean break for as convoluted a situation as you were in, and creatively maybe the conflict in you. I don't know if you felt that or feel it now, but I
Yeah,
feel like that's as things can go. That sounds like it went pretty well.
Yeah.
All things considered.
definitely. Yeah, I agree. It could have gotten a lot less smooth. It was like I was really blessed to have Militia Group still want to work with me under like a new brand new band name, and a new, completely new project. And that's what I really wanted at the time. Now looking back, I think sometimes I've been like, why did I not just keep calling it Watashi Wa like the whole time?
Okay.
That's the Dave Bazan thing of like, I
It's
should have
the
just
dude-
never
yeah.
stopped Pedro. Yeah.
100%.
This
I
is
was about to say that
Very
because
David Bazan coded.
Josh does this to me all the time. I want to start like 1,000 new projects. Like every
Yep.
year, I send Josh like new recordings. I'm like, this is like
Different
nothing
genres,
I've ever recorded. I'm gonna start a new band.
Yeah.
And Josh solidly every year is like, well, just keep it your name, and then maybe make the album called this. And I'm
Yeah.
like, all right.
I'm just
You know.
I'm just giving the old Eager Seas
Yeah.
treatment.
That's right.
Name the album that, Kylan.
Right.
But
Yeah.
also, as like a little bit of a counterpoint or like a devil's advocate kind of thing, I got really into Christian Branches because it was David Bazan, not Pedro the Lion. And I know that that's completely arbitrary. I know that that's absolutely like
True.
nonsensical.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I can't defend it or explain it, but like that was my experience. I was like, "Oh, this is different, you guys. This is David Bazan.
This is so different
It's not
from Pedro
Pedro
the
the
It's
Lion.
Lion.
so more personal now.
It
So-
did feel more personal. Yeah.
It did.
Yeah, and so maybe there's
Yeah.
something there with Lakes.
Maybe.
I'm just saying,
Yeah. That's true.
maybe there was
Hey,
something happening that
All
was
you can
unique
do is
and-
try to be real with yourself about what you're wanting to
That's right.
create. And
Mhm.
at the time, that's what I was wanting to do. And
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
All right. So, Seth, let's dig into the album a little bit more.
yeah.
So it was produced by friend of the show, Zach Hodges. And
Zach
Hodges.
I know Josh reached out, and you might have a couple notes about how much Zach hates this album, right?
Yep. Yeah,
Yep.
that's
No,
exactly what he led with. Let me tell you
Yeah.
in direct quotes what he said when I asked him. He said, "Now that, in all caps, is an album I'm still proud of."
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
He said, "I've got some good memories from that one. Walking around Seattle recording ambient audio is another one." And then I did want to get your take on this because he did mention you wanting to call it portion amount control and the label saying no. But what is
Yeah.
some more of background on the original title that you were at least talking about for calling it that?
Yeah, because Eager Seas was like a name that we had, I think, in our mind for like the band, what would be like the new band. And so Jason and I, when we first went into the album, we thought we'll call this project Portion Amount Control. And It was something that my mom had said, and I thought it was just a funny pair of words. It turns out that it's like a full on like diet trend thing. I don't even know if it's like
Okay.
it's like specific to some, I think, certain type of diet in the diet world.
Yeah.
So the label, when I told them that name, I think someone was familiar with the diet terminology.
And they were like,
They're like,
nope.
Like,
that's
nope.
weird. That's such a weird name. Yeah, so we threw around a bunch of names when we were up there with Tooth and Nail, kind of like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this?
Yeah. Do you remember any of those specifically?
Needles
It's okay.
Today.
Okay.
Needles Today. That's a
Nice.
shout out Jason for that one. I can't
Nice.
remember. I yeah, I'd have to go back and look.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like this came out 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's
I know, it's crazy. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
It was cool
Oh,
though.
that's cool.
Yeah, and you know it's also it's not quite 20 years, but 10 years and separating states. That's a pretty big song. It was fun because we were doing this after I kind of released that video and about like the record, like going through the CD booklet and everything like that. And that was like unsurprisingly, I would say, the song that I feel like we got the most like people commenting on of like what's their favorite song and why it's like so special. And it just is. I mean, I think it's a perfect way to open the record. It really sets the tone for like we're slowing things down. We're going to be more intentional in different ways, maybe than we were in the past. Not that you weren't. I would love to hear. I don't know, just what it was like recording that song, putting it first. Also, how you feel about it now, like the impact, the legacy of it as well. All of that.
Rad. Thank you. Yeah, that is still one of my favorite songs. Like we never stopped playing that song live. Yeah, it's just it's one of those songs like I had the song idea and I thought when I first had it like it didn't fit with Watashi Wa. And so I had it probably when we did like the Tooth and Nail tour with Watashi Wa, like so shortly after Love of Life, and I used to kind of like play it around, you know. It was like one of those songs like I would just play, you know, around when people were hanging out or whatever, but I never thought like I would make it a song. And then when this project came around, I kind of had a lot of songs like that were just sitting around like, oh, that was a weird idea, or that was a weird idea that didn't feel like it fit into Watashi Wa. Like, I'm trying to think of another, like Father Son was another one I used to just kind of play that a lot. Something to say, same with that one. I just would like play whenever there was a piano around. That was like whatever I would play, and then so a lot of those were just like little things I had laying around, and so and I was thinking about production a lot. That's why Zach talked about us going and getting ambient sounds in the city, and that was a big thing that we wanted to do, was like create a lot of dynamics with sounds and just like try to like explore that in the production. And the song was about like lyrically, or they're about a friend of mine that I knew since I've known him since like we were in preschool or whatever. Our moms like
Wow.
worked together at the preschool, and we're still friends to this day. And we had like lost touch for 10 years. He moved away. And so the song was about him moving back to my area and us kind of reconnecting in that like adult or like young adult phase in life. I don't even think I was old enough to drink yet, and he maybe was. And so he was in a really kind of dark place. A lot of I guess us at that age, or people at that age, can get into like the party scene or whatever, the college
Mhm.
party scene, or just kind of like going too deep into like the freedom that you have in your life as like a 19-year-old, like, or whatever, living out on your own for the first time. And so when we reconnected, he was like really trying to get his life back in order, and like, and really like trying to grow up, you know. And so that's what the song is kind of about, is like we'd always go on like road trips and just talk about stuff. And so a lot of the lyrics are like specific to, you know, our conversations.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that's one of my favorite songs still to play. And there's something about the 3/4. We don't have a lot of songs like in 3/4. It's a fun one.
No, it is a cool one. Yeah, which I was gonna say, I do want to talk about. My favorite song is like you mentioned it before, is The Game, which you said was like a previous Watashi Wa song.
Yeah.
So it's cool like having like ones that are like obviously very Eager Seas, and then some that are Watashi Wa. And I do want to ask,
That is cool.
I love the guitar on this song. Y'all really crushed it on the guitar. The guitar work is there's a lot of harmonics happening. It's almost like American Football Light at times, I feel like.
Oh, cool.
And then you did mention Starflyer earlier, and I was like, that has that like the lead guitar in the intro, and then it comes back at the end. That almost sounds like something Jason Martin would do.
Definitely.
So it's like, I was like, is there something there?
We were
Like,
definitely influenced. Yeah.
okay.
We actually, it's funny because like when we did that song with Watashi Wa, that's the instrumentation on that song compared to the other songs on this album is very like band oriented. It's like guitar and very like Watashi Wa, where it was like kind of constant leads the whole song, you know, like
Right.
or like little
It really
parts.
pairs with All of Me. So like it kind of works that they put that on the record, because like those two feel of a piece a little bit.
It is very similar to All of Me. I was thinking about that earlier, like even just the repeating chorus, kind of hook. But yeah, the guitar parts, the last guitar player we had in Watashi Wa wrote those guitar parts, Luke Page, and the only thing he recorded with us that we put out was the Police song.
Wow.
But he wrote
so
all these
funny.
amazing guitar parts, like
That somebody else played. Was it you?
yeah. Some of them I've played on that song on The Game.
Awesome.
Jason Massey played the guitars on that, but he basically just went off of like what Luke wrote on the demo, and you know, he added a couple little you know, his own sauce on some stuff, and but yeah, and we were obsessed with Starflyer and the Cardigans, that one album, I can't remember the name. I'll have to look up the name. There was this one Cardigans album, and there's like kind of that low guitar type lead where it's like just like slap back and like super like thick sounding, but it's like a lead, you know?
Right.
And
Yeah.
Starflyer does that a lot. And so that was definitely a big inspiration for the guitar tone on that. And like we did a lot of like layering, like playing things really high and playing the same thing like really low, and like just trying to make simple parts sound like really big, you know?
Real thick. Yeah.
Yeah.
It works.
Thanks.
I had a lyric question on that one.
Ooh.
Yes.
And I don't know. I feel like I might be stealing Kylan's question. It feels like something you would ask about. But the line, it started in a novel, but then they changed it on the screen, and the dream became a dream in vain.
Yeah.
My question is, where does that lyric come from? Is it inspired by a specific novel adapted to film? And if so, what
This is a Kylan
book
question.
to movie, isn't it? I got you, man.
It is.
I got
No,
you.
thank you.
And if so, you know, what is it? And if not, you know, either way, like what's the sort of way that you felt like it works for the song because it really poked out to me. Every time, like listening through, I was just like, oh, that line stands out as I'm kind of doing lyrical analysis. I'm like, that one really
That's cool.
is an experience we've all had, right? Of like, the movie just like didn't get it quite right.
It's not exactly right. Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
like I know like Harry Potter was coming out, right? Lord of the Rings, like there's all these like properties that are called to mind for me that I'm just like, oh, maybe he's like referencing this.
Yeah.
But I also understand that that's just like a universal idea that could have been more just a general idea and not a direct reference. But I just had to ask.
Yeah. No,
It would have killed me not to ask, you know.
the idea for the whole song, the song is kind of about just like the false ideas of like love and the archetypes of like being in a relationship and like how it feels like there's just a lot of propaganda around around that. And so the sentiment was like just taking that idea that like is I think a universal feeling that people have where it's like, man, they ruined it from the book, you know. Like it was, I love the book, and then
The book is always better.
The movie sucks, you know. But also kind of playing off this like idea that just that disintegration is kind of like what is that, you know, where it's like something that you can almost imagine as something so beautiful and artistic and like inspiring, like a really great book, right? And then
because you can use your own imagination to create the most epic version of it, right? When it's something you're reading.
Totally, yeah. But
and
then
the movie not living up to that.
Yeah, but then I also kind of thought about it when I was writing the lyrics, just like movies. A lot of the times we'll be looking at like, well, how do we get this into something that, like, the story's there and it was a best-selling book or whatever, but how do we get it into something that's like, you know, certain time limit, that's digestible for a certain demographic,
accessible to all audiences.
Yeah, and they're thinking about it from like a marketing lens and like, well, who's our target audience and then they're everything just gets like overcooked and overdone to where it sucks all that beauty out of it. And then a lot of the times, like the message that gets represented is like something that is like is gonna sell or be sexy or whatever, you know, and
not necessarily a core theme from the novel itself.
Yeah, and not authentic to like. So that's kind of, I think, what I was trying to play on was just like, you know, like this game that people play with relationships for where something that could be so like sacred and kind of like beautiful and inspiring could like be just disintegrated down to this like cheesy movie, you know, this cheesy, you know, it's like, that's how relationships can be, like, where people can go into something really thinking of it as just like this, you know, cheap,
grand romantic thing. And then it's just,
yeah. Anyway, so that was that.
So it wasn't a direct reference to the Two Towers and the relationship between Saruman and Sauron depicted poorly on
Where's
screen.
Tom Bombadil?
Where's Bombadil?
No, sorry.
Got it. Okay. Well, thanks for clarifying.
I'm glad
that line really is really great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I love it.
No, it's good. Guys, we could do this all night. But I want to respect our guest time. So, Seth, are you prepared to do this for the next 4 hours?
I can't go 4 hours. No.
No, really? Really?
That's probably good.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
We could schedule another time where I could go a little longer.
No, listen.
5 hours.
Here's what.
Yeah.
No. I did have this thought, Seth.
Marathon.
You have to come on. Okay. So Josh and friend of the show, Jerry Morrison from the band Bleach have a little sideshow called Dial M for Martin, where they talk about
nice.
Starflyer 59.
Nice.
I don't know if you would like to come on that show.
I would love to. Yeah.
Okay, there it is, Josh.
Everyone, all your favorite artists love Starflyer 59.
I
Yeah,
know.
That's what it all comes down to.
I'm often a guest on that show, and it's fascinating.
We're playing with the Rocky Valentines coming up.
Oh, no way. Oh, that's so cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
excited
Well,
about that.
Seth, you have to come on Dial M for Martin.
I'm in.
But I think at this point, I think we're going to start wrapping it up, if that's okay with everyone. So I have a question for you, Seth.
Yeah.
The most important question, I think, on this show. What's your least favorite song from this album? No, I'm just kidding.
All of me.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
That's fair. What else do you want to let people know about this album? I mean, it's such an interesting story of
It really
like
is.
how this entire album was made, and we're coming up on, or I guess we just passed 20 years.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So I would love to know like how you felt about it upon its release, and then how you feel about it now.
I felt really proud of it at its release. Yeah, it felt kind of important for me personally because it was like putting out music that was so different than the music that I had put out up till then. And
Yeah.
I don't even know if it translated to the listener how different it was, but like the process for me was so different. The writing process, the production process, the recording process. So that was all just so meaningful to me to like have that experience and put out something that I felt really in control of, I think, for the first time. Like,
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
and like the albums up to that, I think I just, not saying it was someone else's fault that I wasn't in control, but just like didn't really understand.
You're also
like,
young.
18 years old. Yeah.
like you were a literal child.
Still insane to me.
Didn't understand like who we were musically yet. Didn't understand anything about recording or production or anything. So, and then to go from like being in a band to like just recording a project, it was like okay, this is like my first kind of first project like it. So I felt really proud of it.
It seems like at this point now, like based on our conversation, like it may have been weird at the time, but like at this point, do you feel like you're now like more accepting of the fact that this is maybe a Watashi Wa album? Like the way that you view Watashi Wa as a project, like
that, like we said, can kind of stretch and be redefined time and time again.
Yeah. You see it like that more now?
Yeah, I kind of, and it probably sounds weird, but I kind of think about Watashi Wa and Eager Seas as like the same in my mind now. But
that makes sense. Like all of it makes sense. Like at the time, like trying to separate from it, but now like having more perspective, being able to see it as more of a singular thing.
Yeah.
And just time with the project, right? Like it starts to take on a new identity and multiple new identities over a span of so many years. Which is a beautiful thing.
Totally.
To get to have that capsule to, like you said, have that artistic expression that still feels authentic to you after all these years. It's really powerful.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it was cool.
Do you feel like this is the fan favorite Watashi Wa record? Because every time I see people talking about this online, it's like with such like reverence and like adoration.
That's cool.
Like, where does it like? Do you feel like that is the fan favorite within like the catalog, or what's your read on it?
It's hard to say. I feel like the Love of Life people get a lot of love for that one too. And there were a lot of people that when it came out, it was like, oh, this is so different. You know, like I remember one guy came to a show and he was like, what were you thinking? Like,
Oh, thanks, guy.
it's not good at all.
Wow.
I love the Love of Life. I was like, I'm sorry.
man.
But no, I think yeah, I think it feels like it's a fan favorite now. Like it's like but it took some time, I think, for people to to grow.
It probably had to grow on that guy. I bet it grew on that guy too. Yeah, I bet. And later he was like, actually, I was too hard on this record.
It's kind of I've noticed it's become like it almost like when it came out, it felt like it was a band's favorite record. Like a lot of my friends that were in other bands.
Well, like you said,
really
y'all were like
it.
you were really tuning into production and arrangement and all that. So it makes sense that would be like a musician's favorite.
And it seems like
discography.
Almost like over time, as other bands have talked about it, then like people have come around to it a little bit. Like like Stephen Christian from Amberlin, I think, talked about it in a podcast, and like I've heard little things like that where it's like I think it's slow dripped over time where now people really do count it as like I think it's the best Watashi Wa album, honestly.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
All right. I like that.
I mean, I
love that.
I like the last
Let's
one
land on
a lot
that.
too, but yeah, it's definitely like my favorite, one of my favorites. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Speaking of the last one, I did want to ask, do you pronounce people differently because of the exclamation points? Like, is it more like people? Like people, or do you just say it regular?
No, I just say it regular. Yeah.
Okay. In my mind, that's how you've been pronouncing it. But
you heard it here, folks.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's how you say it. Well, this is a little bit like out of left field, but as long as we're talking about the album, I just have to say, I know this may come as a surprise, but my favorite track is Courtyard.
Awesome!
I just really dig the
I
kind
think
of
that's
like
the best chorus on the record.
Yeah,
the
good.
Tom Petty
Thanks,
vibes. Like it almost has like Ryan Adams kind of
guitar.
vibes too.
Yeah.
The harmonica. It's great.
A fun fact about that song is it actually came out. It was supposed to be on The Love of Life, and we took it off.
Oh wow!
Because we thought we thought it didn't work.
But it came out.
It came out on the Japanese release of The Love of Life. There's there's a version out there, and there's also an EP that came out for a tour that we did with Copeland that had the Courtyard on it, the Love of Life version, and that version's totally different. It's like more pop punk. It's like all upbeat and
cool.
Yeah, but yeah, I loved. That was I'm not very good at harmonica, so that was like my first exploration into harmonica on the Courtyard, and slide guitar. Same. I was just like, I'm gonna try to play slide guitar. I'm gonna try to play harmonica. The mandolin, I think, was on that. I can't remember. Oh, it's on that one. And yeah, it was great. It was fun. I loved Ryan Adams at that point. I was like listening to a lot of like. And Tom Petty and stuff. So
yeah,
that's a fun one. I like the Courtyard.
Way. Yeah, and the metaphor is strong too. Like similar to the game, like imagery and just the idea of a relationship and being kind of like on the outside, even though you're close to this person, feeling kind of stuck. It was really effective. So
Rad.
That one was
Thanks,
it really shone for me in a big way.
Sweet.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right, guys. I think we are about to wrap this up. Seth, is there anything you want listeners of the show to know? Like, is there anything you have going on? Is there any way? Do you want people to follow you online? Do you want people to leave you alone? I don't know.
Follow
What do you
me.
want? What do you
I want
want?
to be an
Good question. Good
influencer.
question.
Yeah. Follow Seth's TikTok. Let's do
Well,
it. Let's do it. Let's blow it up.
I'd like to split this last portion into two sections. One, I want to do like a rapid fire, since we're talking about the album,
Yeah.
of just like
Ooh,
some memories and some shout outs.
Oh, yes.
And then I'll come back
I love
to
this.
what's going on in my world now and
Dude,
how you can follow
Seth,
me.
it's
and stuff.
rare that the interviewee like
That the
flips it on us
guest
like
comes
this.
in. Yes.
just take
No, I
charge.
love it.
Do it.
I
Yeah.
love it.
But
I
in the
love
past
it.
when it's
Please.
happened, it's also been very, very chaotic and like often like somebody razzing Kylan specifically. So I feel like this is maybe the first time that's happened where like you actually have a game plan, and I love it.
No, I know.
Absolutely adore this.
He is a
Well,
man.
you
I
have
didn't
a
want to do
game
like
plan.
an episode on this album and not like give the right people shout outs because
Right.
Totally.
Oh yeah,
For
yes,
sure.
please.
Let's
We're
do
here
it.
for it.
yeah,
Take the wheel, Seth.
I know I did talk about Jason Massey on at different points in our time together, but I just want to give a huge shout out for this album to Jason Massey because he was definitely like my right hand man with and I just learned so much from him on this album with production and like instrumentation and seeing myself as like a multi instrumentalist. He kind of gave me a lot of like uh
Confidence.
yeah, confidence. Like he was kind of just like just play whatever you want to play, like you're good at you can play it. And
I love that. We all need that guy, right?
yeah, and this was like we did this project together and a couple others after this one, but this was our first project together and kind of formed into what became a band with Jason. So shout out Jason.
Woo.
Aaron Sprinkle originally wanted to do the whole album, but we didn't get to.
Oh wow.
Which I'm so thankful that we got to work with Zach. That was like, still wish I could have done more albums with Zach. I'd love to do another album with Zach. But having Aaron be able to mix a couple songs on this album was awesome. And I learned a lot.
Just knowing he was enthusiastic about that, like that is really cool. Like to hear that, not like, I don't know. It's exciting to be like Brandon Ebel's in your corner and like Aaron's in your corner. You had Zach on the record. Like you just had you had a team of people gassing you up, man.
Yeah, it was cool.
So cool.
And a lot of people came through on this album, like guests, musicians or whatever. There's a lot of, as you'll see in the liner notes, that Josh has a lot of
Mike and Yuri, yeah,
and and like just random people singing and talking like little parts that we had ideas for, or like a lot of people came through, so it was cool. I think the guy from 90 Pound Wuss played like accordion on a song, and like
that's awesome.
Incredible.
The guys from Emery were there. They brought I can't remember the woman that sang on the game, but they brought her over, and it was just
wow.
That's awesome.
MXPX guys coming to Tooth and Nail for the first time since they had kind of like their history of fallout.
Right.
That was kind of a cool moment too. I felt like
that's huge.
I brought them back together.
That's very cool, man.
But
that's something to be proud of.
Yeah, well, it's like the following record I think they did on Tooth and Nail was that 06 when they did, So maybe you did kind of help broker that,
Definitely did, yeah. I did.
That's awesome.
I didn't get my cut.
Dang.
Hey,
it stiffed you.
That's what we're here for. And let's retroactively get that cut for Seth, man.
That's right.
No, and
that's why we have this podcast.
As far as what's going on these days, we are trying to finish a new album. I have like 2 albums right now in the cooker, so trying to finish one of them. especially, and put that out this year, sometime this year. So that's kind of the current plan. We just played last year. Now we're in the new year, but did like the acceptance, some of the West Coast acceptance shows.
Oh,
and
nice.
hoping to tour more this year. And but yeah, I mean, follow me on
Yeah.
Instagram, or
Guys,
whatever.
let's make Seth
Keep
an
up to date.
influencer. Come
Yeah,
on.
guys.
Come on.
Make my
Do
dreams
it.
of becoming a famous influencer true. No, but I have made it hard for people to follow the music over the years. And so I appreciate everyone that's like still hanging in and checking out what we're putting out. I think people will really love the next album a lot. I think it's like it's gonna be a good one.
Sweet. Okay,
Awesome.
Seth, you have to
Right on.
send it to us
Yeah.
before it
Oh,
officially
yeah.
comes out.
And
That's
the
like-
demos. If you find the demos.
If you
for
find the demos.
Eager Seas, too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's like one of the only perks of this podcast. Come on, man. We're like we won't leak it. Come on, just
Someone
just share
did,
it with us.
and if you find them, you should put them up. Someone did comment about hearing the demos to this record and they're like, "Man, what?
Oh,
I would
really?
give to hear them again?" And I was like, "Oh man, Seth put them up."
We had them on our MySpace. Like
Yeah,
we just
no,
had
I
them on
mentioned
like
that. Nice.
our
Yeah.
player. Oh, he did.
That's
sweet.
awesome.
Yeah, I mentioned on the MySpace. Yeah,
Yeah, it's funny. That was like back when MySpace, you had your little player of songs or whatever.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I remember that.
But yeah, I'll look for them. I'll find them. And then I'd love to. I'll send you guys some new song demos. See what you think.
heck yeah.
Cool.
We'd love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm here for it. All right, and Seth, you have to come back for a Dial M for Martin episode. Josh,
Yeah.
I'm
Let me know when.
putting that on the calendar.
All right.
All right. For listeners of this show, if you enjoy this, we have more nonsense like it at our Patreon at patreon.com/churchjamesnow podcast. And of course, from all of us here, I'm officially calling it. This is the Church James Now headquarters. May all your favorite bands stay together, and peace out, Mon Frères.
Church Jams Now. Christian music from the 90s, 2000s, and today.
I've never been to Whataburger. Is that good?
Oh, Seth, you got to go, man.
That's good.
You're missing out.
Okay.
Go for me. Do it for me, man.
Okay, I'll do
Next
it.
time you're
I'm gonna be
close
like,
to-
this is for TJ.
Yeah.
this is for DJ. That made me so happy.
Thanks for listening to Church Jams Now. If you liked the show, please consider leaving us a rating or a review. It really helps, and we might even read your review on the show. You can also join our Patreon at patreon.com/churchjamsnowpodcast. Tiers start at $5 per month for tons of bonus content, but you can even join for free to get access to our discussion boards, cast your vote on future episodes, and more. Peace out, Montfrères.